Did you ever get spanked as a kid?
That was the worst transition I've ever heard in my life.
Fucked up segue there.
Yeah.
Once.
You got spanked?
Once, yep.
One time?
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
Yep, one time.
What was your experience like?
It wasn't great. I mean, honestly, and I was like, God, I was only like 7 or 8. I think I wasn't old.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't remember. I just remember it happened. I don't remember what the cause was. But yeah, I remember after it happened, I cried and went in my room, and that was about the end of it from what I remember.
Yeah, I also got spanked one time, and I remember smarting off to the person I got spanked by. You know, it's whatever. And he was like, if I were to spank you, it would hurt. And I was like, no, it wouldn't.
Yeah.
And then so I got a few whaps, and I smarted off again, and then whap, and I never forgot it. But there was always the threat of it.
Yep.
That's a Bill Burr joke, and I've stuck that in my mind because I did have an experience being on the delivering end of a spanking.
Yeah,
this was months ago, but it was the wildest story. I always resisted it, never wanted to do it, but I was always like, if the behavior gets bad enough, I'm game with doing it just the one time. So there's always the threat of it moving forward. So again, going back to the behavioral issues, this is pre-Ritalin days, but there's like 5 days where he kept doing the same thing, and I kept telling him, like, if you do it again, I'm out of options, man.
Right, yeah.
And you're going to get spanked because I have no more options.
Right.
And it kept happening. And then, yeah, like the 4th or 5th time, I was just like, I got to do it. We got to do it.
Yep.
Emily was on board. And so here's where it fucking took a turn.
Oh, I think I remember you telling me.
We communicated it to his mom. So we have a blended family, me and stepmom, married, mom, whatever. So he spends half the time here, half the time there, whatever. So we communicate to her, like, we felt out of respect, we're going to tell you that I am about to spank Julian. And she went off the rails and was like, and furthermore, we were seeing a therapist with him because of behavior issues. Like, that's how bad it got. And even the therapist was just like, yeah, one open palm, swat on the back, nothing wrong with that. Totally. And then we told Julian's mom, like, we got approval, like, we're not damaging him. This isn't gonna, he's not gonna end up like whatever. And so she called the therapist and chewed her out, and the therapist is just like, what are you gonna do? Like, and she was like,
it happened. I mean, you can't really change it now.
Exactly. So this is what happened. And if you're super anti-spanking, like, I'm not gonna fight you on it.
No.
I totally respect everyone has different beliefs, and that's ultimately the conclusion we all came to. Like, we're not all gonna see eye to eye on everything. I just felt like I had to do it. So I go into the room. My phone is blowing up from the mom, who's like, don't you dare, whatever. And then I got my wife, Emily, being like, we have to. At this point, we have to. And so I'm like, do I? Don't I? And then he's like in the the position, like he's assumed the position. And so I whap, pants on.
Yeah. Okay.
And I pulled back to be perfectly honest. I didn't do full force. Whap once, whap twice. I take a deep breath, and he like looks back at me. He goes, "That didn't even hurt." And I go, "You mother!" And I at that point I wasn't gonna do it again. No. I was like emotionally drained, but like that was my whole experience. And now it's like, man, like I had one time, probably never do it again, and I blew it. Totally blew it.